All right, good morning. Paul Bates here, Captain Paul here aboard Southern Estate, where I currently live full time with my wife Beverly and my little pup Daisy. We all love Daisy. Anyway, today's subject is weather because we are getting ready to move Southern Estate possibly this weekend or early next week, Monday. And we're also right now making arrangements to move our car, which we have to do that tomorrow. So, speaking of that, tomorrow I will be live. I'm not going to give you an exact time because what we're going to do is drive down to Homeport Marina. That's where we started America's Great Loop from. We're going to drive down there in our car and we're going to leave our car there. So, we're going to rent a car here in Denapolis, drop the truck off, then drive the rental car back, turn the rental car in, and then in preparation for departing the marina, and our official departure date is Sunday. So I will not be live next week unless I get some really good internet service and it's just sporadic last minute stuff. I won't do anything live next week. So just remember that anybody that schedules it and watches these things live. Also, before we get started here and talking about the weather apps that I do use, I want to share with you and congratulate to the $25,000 club because everybody knows I paid $25,000 for this trawler. Uh, but we're going to congratulate Hunter to the club now because officially he got his boat, which is a 1988 Marine Trader 43 Sun Deck. The price they were asking was $79,000, and there's a picture of the boat right there. Anyway, Hunter picked that boat up for $25,000. There was a lot of drama with it. I was helping him. And I couldn't say anything about any of this earlier because the deal wasn't done, and Hunter had first option at it. He's the one that took his time to go look at the boat, and then which we would have opened it up for somebody else had he not purchased it, knowing all of its problems because he put a lot of time and effort into it. But it looks like it's going to be a home run. That's all I can tell you about the boat right now. He's got the engine started yesterday, I believe. And then he actually texted me a picture yesterday of him and his son. Looks like they're out there washing the outside of the boat. So, congratulations, Hunter. A job well done. A lot of stress, a lot of drama going through it all. We're on the phone every other day and also lots of texting with him over that whole ordeal. But I think it was just important for him to have an outside perspective on as the deal was going down. Hey, Paul, what do you think I should be paying? What do you think of this? And it just kind of calmed him down for a few minutes and let him really, really think and not do so much of it emotionally, but buy the boat without that emotional connection. So I think it really helped him anyway. Congratulations, Hunter. Welcome to the $25,000 club. I hope you all the success that me and Beverly have had on Southern Estate. So anyway, moving forward here. Uh, Today we're going to talk about weather app because being in the river system hasn't been how do I want to say this? It hasn't been as weather related like for the last 3 months actually. Um, we just haven't had to really worry about weather too much because you're dealing with a river that's only in most of the parts there it's I don't know what is it 200 feet wide. um yeah, it probably is maybe 300 feet wide on average, and a lot of them are just little canals and ditches. Well, not even in a 25 knot wind, um, it really doesn't affect you. I mean, it pushes the boat around a little bit, but it doesn't really affect the water, so you don't have to worry about waves. But now we're getting ready to get back into that, so we're really in our weather apps and what we use. During America's Great Loop, I bought a couple of apps for weather, and one of them I love, and one of them I don't love. That's what this video is all about today, because you're going to have to make up your own mind what you do for weather and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, it seemed like the app on Beverly's phone, which was just uh, the weather channel. She uses the weather channel app on her phone, and it seemed like that was probably some of the most accurate weather predictions that we got during the entire loop. Also, I can tell you this, anytime that there was a prediction of wind, the wind was almost always stronger than what they predicted. And they usually do the wind in knots, not miles per hour. And so when you see that KT at the end of the knots, a 20 knot wind is actually about a 24, 25 mile an hour wind. So it's little bit different. That's why it feels much more brisk. And also, when you're out in the open water, that wind, a 15 knot wind in open water feels, I don't know why, like a 25-mile-an-hour wind. I don't know why. I'm used to the sand and desert because we drove the sand buggies for years and years and years, and the sand cars and stuff like that. And at 30 miles an hour, that's what it takes to pick the sand up and then actually move it across the sand dunes. So every time you see 30-mile-an-hour winds, you just see the winds, and so I get a little nervous. And 30 knots of winds really make a difference. Also, I don't know if you guys understand this, but when you're scuba diving, every time you reach 33 feet, things change. So the atmosphere changes, and what your requirements and what you do changes. So 33, 66, 99. And it's the same thing with the wind, believe it or not. Things really start to change and really get different at about that 30 mile an hour. So 30 mile an hour, then 60 miles an hour, then 90 miles an hour. Completely different things happen, and the wind does. It's more active. Anyway, so let's talk about the apps that I use. So now this is something that I do use my iPad for, and I just go over here, I hit that, and before I start any trip, I will go and I open up my iPad. I'll show you right here, and those are my apps that I use right there, and then I'll hit whatever one I want. Now this one right here, no, I'm going to go with WeatherBug. So WeatherBug is a good one that I like using. Got it. And I don't know, but I've always used it for years and years and years. And well, let's look at the 10-day for Denopolis here. Okay, sorry about this. And sorry yesterday's ran long. But that gives me just a general look right there of what the weather is going to be like. Now, you don't see any wind on that. Everything looks good for this for our Wednesday arrival, in which we're looking at right about here. Partly cloudy, 82, 66 is the low. And that's Wednesday. Wednesday, Thursday, we'll be in Mobile Bay. Which day exactly, I don't know yet. I can't promise, or I can't say anything, but this will just give me general information. Now, the next app that I use, let's go to that. I use Windy. So Wind Finder right here. I like this one. Now, I actually paid for this app right here. And then you can see right here that on here, I can go all the way up, and I've gone, it's doing it till Wednesday. Well, actually, yeah. So here, and you can just kind of go through here, and everything looks like it's all purple right here. Everything is purple, purple, purple. And that's what I want to see, because that's my low wind speeds right here. And that's Mobile Bay. Because Mobile Bay can get very, very, very nasty. I've heard a lot of ugly stories about Mobile Bay. So we're not concerned. I shrimp them. I shrimp in our shrimp boat for years and years and years. It's been 10 years ago I've done really any boating on Mobile Bay, even though that's where we started from. We were way up in the coastal, up in the front of the bay there, and we never really we didn't go back into the back of the bay. But I do respect Mobile Bay. And every single time you guys do one of these crossings on any of these bays, you got to know what your weather is. And you prefer, to tell you the truth, you prefer either a head sea or a following sea. Usually, typically, I've always had good luck. And me personally, I prefer a following sea in this boat. This boat's a big, heavy boat. I've been in probably 3 to 4s, even 5s in a following sea in this boat right here. And that boat handles really, really well. And that's what I prefer, is a following sea. So what that means is when I'm coming out of Mobile Bay, I'd prefer that the wind was behind me. So I would want a north wind, but I'll take a south wind. What I really don't want is a strong east wind or a strong west wind. Those two right there would make it difficult to pass, for me to pass Mobile Bay. Even a strong southerly wind with an opposing tide, that could get really, really ugly too. So that's another thing that we've got to take into factors every single time now that we make our moves into tidal water. we really got to pay attention to that. So going, we want to go in Mobile. We probably want to go in an. It depends which way the wind's blowing. If the wind's blowing out of the south, we would want a incoming tide. That's what we would prefer in a south wind. In a north wind, we would prefer an outgoing tide, but we'll see how we catch that. But I'm looking at the apps right now, and I'm not scared of anything that I see out there because I'm not seeing a lot of wind. So the wind isn't going to be too much of a factor, but you've always got to consider it anytime that you're going into any of these big bays. You know, you got Pensacola Bay, Mobile Bay, the Noose, the Chesapeake, all of those bays, every single one. Now, me and Bev were blessed in the Chesapeake because it was just absolutely perfect weather. Just everybody, oh my God, you guys just got so lucky on that one, and we did. Flat day. Now, what happens is they're really shallow, and then it picks up. It can make for some big waves in there very, very quickly, and you can get in trouble real quickly. So, ready? The bays again is we have to literally, and I'll share more of this with you probably Friday, is as we prep the boat for departure here for its final departure. Everything has to be screwed down, taped down, bolted down. Everything has to be managed that way on the boat, and that's all because when we get out there and we start turning and flopping and getting back into these tidal waters and stuff like that, man, things go flying around the cabin. Even in this boat right here, this is almost a 50-foot boat, and it'll get tossed around like it's nothing. So you got to be very, very careful and be prepared. That's the biggest thing. Like the refrigerator doors are strapped shut. I mean, they're locked shut. Everything. Anyway, we'll get into that more on Friday. Today's more about the weather. So, but weather is a factor, and so right now I've got to be projecting that our departure date is Sunday. And if I leave on Sunday, what is the weather going to be like on Wednesday or Thursday? Because that's the day that I get into Mobile Bay. The actual weather in the river system here doesn't really super, I'm not horribly nervous about it because I don't have to worry about wind and weather. So, and then we got 2 more locks left. We got the Denopolis lock left. I've already talked to them, so we'll call them, see if a Sunday a.m. Departure early in the morning. That's what I really, really want. And then right now, if I was telling anybody where I'm going, it's going to be batchy, and we'll see what happens with that. Anyway, have a great day. We're going to go pick up the rental car. Yesterday, I washed the boat completely, 100%, and it just knocks all the cobwebs off, just anything that's been sitting here for a month. But and also just the decks are really super clean. And we're also going to try and get a nice picture of me, Beverly, and Daisy with our shirts on, with our America's Great Loop shirts on, to get a nice new picture for Facebook and for our whole logo and everything like that. So I spent all day yesterday just washing the boat from front to back. Also, yesterday, before I end this video, my old job called me back. So I don't want to go back. That's where my head's at right now. And I've also got another job offer for making even quite a bit more money than I was making working for them, or what they're offering me. So anyway, it's just something I'm toying with as we finish America's Great Loop here, what I'm going to do next. You hear Daisy down there? She must see a dog on the TV. Anyway, peace out. Guys, have a great day at work. We will see you tomorrow, and I'm not going to give you an exact time. It's just going to be one of those things that we're going to get on there, and I'm hoping to do it. I'm hoping to be at home port at 7:30 tomorrow morning so I can keep this broadcast between that 7:30 to 8 a.m. hour, but we'll see. Anyway, peace. You guys for watching, and I surely do appreciate, man. We broke over. We're at 5,014 subscribers, on our way to 10,000 subscribers. Anyway, thank you guys so much. I appreciate it. Hey, if you want anything, leave a comment down below. I want to know what you talk about. Anyway, thanks, guys. Harold, Ken, everybody, have a great day.